Hey guys, I just wanted to upload a quick video of my thoughts and feelings on the latest Resident Evil Requiem showcase featuring new information from game director Koshi Nakanishi, as well as brand new gameplay and further information on the plot. I haven't really been too on board with Requiem until quite recently. When it was first announced, I never really gave it a second look, but more so recently I'm so excited to get straight into it on release day. Maybe Leon's announcement drew me in a little more, and that's not to say I'm only playing for him. I'm really excited to see how they balance the story between the two different game styles and characters. As well as I'm super excited to see more on Victor Gideon. I think he seems a really epic villain. His voice acting really reminds me as well of Vincent Price, so it kind of gives me a Hammer horror vibe too.
It hasn't been easy. But after much effort, here we finally are.
Who are you?
I know now that you're the one that I've been searching for. The special one. The chosen one. Miss Ashcroft.
But without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing I noticed was a closer shot of Leon without his new leather jacket, revealing the marks on his neck a little closer, as if he's infected in some way with a new virus known as Elpis. Also, that dude has the sweetest collection of leather jackets I've ever seen. I'd be lying if I said I didn't own both the Resident Evil 4 and 6 jackets. And I smell another one coming my way. Nakanishi says that they did originally plan to set Requiem only with Leon as the protagonist, but they thought that players wouldn't want to see Leon acting timid, as I'm sure by this point most players see Leon as some kind of undead slaying John Wick. However, I think the fear still rests with the player at the end of the day. If the settings and environments or enemies are as scary as what we've seen in things such as Resident Evil Village with the House of Beneviento, a lot of people might say that that's just due to the fact you can't fight and can only hide and run, which is true to a degree, but even playing with a weapon as Ethan in that section would have still scared me a lot, or even just had me on the edge of my seat. So I think that they could still have pulled it off with Leon if you keep the difficulty curve quite high, or to keep weapons or ammo to a strict minimum to not be wasteful, tight enclosed spaces, enemies that do a lot of damage, and more reliance on instinctive fight or flight may have easily made this work. He then discusses the difference between their two gameplay styles, and for the first time we see that you can use weapons such as a pistol as Grace. From what the trailers have shown so far, I thought her gameplay is largely just puzzle solving and hiding with no combat. We see Leon pulling off some sweet melee attacks like in Resident Evil 4 with the roundhouses and various other attacks. There's some where he also pauses at the end, which I'm hoping makes you invulnerable at this time, as it seems that that's a lot of time in the animation to get grabbed or attacked. He says the way that they've balanced the horror between them goes hand in hand, and I think it's a really cool, unique way to experience a Resident Evil game. As Grace's section will appeal to more old school fans, more focused on traditional survival horror elements, while more action orientated fans may be more interested in letting loose as Leon. We haven't seen this multiple switching back and forth between multiple protagonists since Resident Evil Outbreak, which also, for anyone who doesn't know, has a direct tie to this entry with Grace's mother, her being a character from that game, as well as she's also mentioned briefly in Resident Evil 7. One thing that struck me watching this too was the amount of blood splatter. It's almost like a scene from RoboCop or something. When Leon takes out an infected with his shot, it's like the body completely explodes. It's brutal. They showcase some stealth elements on both sides, and I have to say how incredible the environments look so far. This game looks fantastic. Also, that stealth kill by Leon was so slick. And we seem to get a new type of headshot in the game. I'm assuming it's triggered automatically if the enemy's close enough, or selected like a melee attack when they're stunned, but we'll have to wait and see. Nakanishi then says about Leon being pushed to his absolute limit this time round, due to the horrors he's endured throughout his time. Obviously this game is set back in the aftermath of Raccoon City at some point, so I'm sure we'll have some emotional flashbacks or something, but it seems that Leon just doesn't care anymore. I think he knows he's getting too old for all this, or that his time may be even limited due to those marks on his neck, so he's just going all in on fighting to put an end to any ties to Umbrella, once and for all. They showcase that the infected in this game have all separate styles, which is a really interesting choice. For example, learning how they behave can help you determine whether to sneak by or take them out, as I'm assuming you'll see repeating types due to their uniforms or way they're dressed to help you assess the situation. When he said they still do their jobs, it really reminded me of George A. Romero's Day of the Dead.
You remember them from before? From before. He remembers everything that he used to.
Not sure why the Doctor has a chainsaw in his office apart from some fan service, but I'm not complaining.
I think I want a second opinion.
I love these finishing moves here. I think Leon's gameplay is going to be so addictive and satisfying, just like Resident Evil 4 Remake. You get some good parries and blocks and a flow going in that game, it gives you a high like no other. And this time Leon has a hatchet. That's so f***ing awesome. It looks as if it can decrease and become damaged over time, so you don't just use it all the time. As we can see after the block, he quickly sharpens it a bit. You can also wield the chainsaw yourself now. I'm assuming this will be very few and far between, but it's going to be so great for Leon to be the one behind the blade than in front of it for a change. I mean, look at all that blood. It's almost ludicrous. I know I'm gushing about Leon, but the Grace gameplay looks just as good, if not even more intriguing to me, as it just looks like what I picture Resident Evil 1 to be in a first-person perspective. These creepy old-school candlelit environments in a large enclosed space, low ammo or health items, just cowering about what could be lurking around the next corner. We then see that she can use a high-caliber revolver. It's even called the Requiem, but I'm assuming this will be saved for very intense or no other choice moments. We then see that Grace can use the infected blood from corpses around her to create a special syringe which can be used to stealthily take down enemies or stop them from mutating again. This makes me think we're going to have a Crimson Head situation on our hands.
That's too effective.
It's really awesome as well that you can switch between both first and third person perspectives on the fly. I think I'd have Leon's always set as third and Grace's as first. I really enjoyed the intensity of the first person gameplay on the last two games.
I told you to stay out of here!
And I'll save the style I'm used to for Leon from Resident Evil 4 for his sections. I don't know how Leon's kicks and spins will be in the first person view. I think they'd be quite disorientating. And from a person that gets motion sick very easy, I don't think that's going to work for me very well. I think the feature of adding things like aim assist for the easy mode will be a nice feature to help any newcomers to the series see the story through for the first time if they're not exactly used to the gameplay or mechanics of the franchise. And I love that they're bringing back the ink ribbons for saves, even if just for a standard difficulty when playing as Grace. This may be the closest return to the original series formula in a few ways we've seen in a long time. We then get a couple game tie-ins or collaborations. The first is this Porsche partnership, or Porsche however you choose to say it. Now I think about it, a Porsche really does quite suit Leon as a person. It's classy, it's got some power, it's respectable, and the fact he's gone for the larger 4x4 shape rather than something like a 911 shows that he cares more about practicality over flashiness, which suits him down to the ground. However, I don't see what Porsche as a company are expecting to come of this. I don't see an influx of Resident Evil fans suddenly flooding Porsche dealerships. I don't even see the fanbase of Leon's being able to afford a brand new special edition Porsche, or even the demographic being that interested in Porsche as a car manufacturer, but that could just be me. But I really don't see Porsche's sales skyrocketing upon the release of this game. However, the next collab I want more than anything. Hamilton Watches have created two Resident Evil Requiem watches, both featured in the game, one for Leon and one for Grace. Honestly, I'm a big watch guy anyway, and that Hamilton Leon model is so sweet. I also love their recent collab with Hideo Kojima on Death Stranding 2 for the watch Neil wears in the game. I want to see more watch tie-ins with video games nowadays. I was too young and poor to afford any of the Metal Gear Solid ones back in the day, but I want them more than anything now.
The Khaki Field Autochrono and the Pan-Europe Automatic.
We then see the deluxe bonus content of what comes with each edition, and although there doesn't seem to be any physical media release of a collector's edition here, it's largely in-game content like costumes, weapon skins, charms and an audio pack. As usually in the past, they've been available for the remakes and it means you can play the original game soundtrack, but because this isn't a remake, I'm not sure what the audio pack includes. It looks like Leon will get some sweet costumes like the suit, his Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 6 fit. Grace includes a Lady Dimitrescu outfit, which is kind of cool, but I would have preferred something more relevant to the original series as this ties back into Raccoon City, like she can have Jill's or Claire's previous outfits. I think the Apocalypse one is the best for her so far. The Vice President of Nvidia also then informs us that they'll be tailoring the game to work across a wide spectrum of PC capabilities that still meet the minimum requirement thresholds. I'll be buying this on my Steam Deck, so I'm hoping it runs smoothly on there. He says that with the ability of the GeForce cloud gaming now, that the game will be available to PC users at launch, This will be my first time playing on a PC for a Resident Evil game, as I've always had them on PlayStation and Xbox prior, so I'm assuming they mean sometimes there's a slight delay in getting it up to scratch for PC users to enjoy day one. We then get a quick look at some character statues from Requiem available for purchase soon. I've never owned any of the Resident Evil figures, but I've always wanted one, so depending on my love for Leon growing even further after this game, I'm sure I'll be ordering one. I still want the original box Resident Evil 2 figures, especially that William Birkin one with a movable eye. They then show a custom controller for the Switch 2 as a collaboration with Resident Evil Requiem. It looks to me like a childish version of an Xbox controller, which I think takes away from any real ties to its horror roots. From a distance in a store, I wouldn't even know that's anything to do with Resident Evil by the look of it. Look at the font at the top as well. Oh look, a Resident Evil controller. Just what I've always wanted. I can tell it's entirely the fault of Nintendo though. You know they couldn't bear to have people not have the Nintendo Switch 2 controller logo right in the centre of it. Continuing with the Switch 2, they announced both gold editions of Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil Village will also be available on that platform now, upon release of Requiem. Now this sounds awesome. God knows what they're going to cost for a ticket, but imagine being able to say you've seen a live orchestra perform a whole concert celebrating the 30th anniversary of the Resident Evil series. It seems I'm going to have to win the lottery at this point to enjoy Requiem. They expect me to buy a Porsche, 2 Hamilton watches, buy deluxe content alongside the game as well as multiple statues, get a Switch 2 to use the new controller, and then go to an orchestra tribute to the music of Resident Evil. I was hoping this next section might be slightly longer and they would tell us more about Victor Gideon's plan, but I guess they want to keep it as a secret for as long as possible. He says that Leon bears a secret related to a murder in the game, which is quite cool. I mean, if they're planning on bringing Leon as a character to an end at some point, they might be giving him a slight villainous side in this game, like his secret infection caused him to murder someone before he could suppress the urge or something. I'm excited to see more on that. The showcase comes to an end here, but I can't help but feel more excited than ever. I haven't felt this kind of hype for a game in a few years now. I have a feeling it's going to be right up there with my top ranking of Resident Evil games.
Why did you kidnap me?
Kidnap you? I liberated you.
I think I want a second opinion.
What is happening here?
I'll keep our friends busy.
I still want more on Victor Gideon, but I guess I'll have the main game and a review up on this channel to discuss that very soon. Stay tuned. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment your thoughts or predictions for the game down in the comments below, and consider subscribing to the channel for all future content. It helps the channel greatly. Until next time, I've been your host, JB Twinesiger.